Have you ever wondered why Snorlax, the gentlest giant in the entire forest, would suddenly eat everyone's delicious autumn dinner? Tonight, a grand feast was completely ready under the twinkling stars of the Whispering Woods. Pikachu, Eevee, Charmander, and Squirtle had spent the whole afternoon gathering sweet, ripe orange berries and baking golden loaves of honey bread. But just as the stars began to blink open in the deep blue sky, the grand table was found completely empty, and Snorlax was caught fast asleep right next to it, snoring loudly with a giant smile. Did Snorlax really let his big appetite get the best of him, or was there a hidden, heartwarming secret behind the missing dinner? Pikachu looked at his hungry friends, his little red cheeks glowing with worry, determined to solve this mystery before the night grew too cold. As the cool night breeze rustled the soft green leaves overhead, the sweet scent of the missing honey bread still floated softly through the air, making everyone's tummies rumble even louder. Squirtle pointed a tiny, trembling hand at Snorlax, who was let out a deep, rumbling snore that shook the grass beneath them. It looked like an open ancient case, but Pikachu knew that their big, fuzzy friend always shared everything he had. Something felt strange, and a new mystery began to brew when Pikachu noticed that Snorlax was holding his giant arms tightly across his round tummy, almost as if he was protecting a hidden treasure. What could he possibly be shielding under his cozy fur while the rest of the forest slept? Squirtle decided it was time to take action, waddling forward with a determined look on his face. He took a deep breath and sprayed a gentle, cool stream of water right over Snorlax's big head, hoping a little splash would wake the sleeping giant. But Snorlax didn't even blink. Instead, he simply smiled in his sleep, thinking it was a refreshing autumn rain shower, and pulled a large, fuzzy leaf over his face like a cozy blanket. Eevee giggled softly and decided to try a different plan, sneaking up on tiptoe with a long, fluffy feather in her paw. She gently tickled Snorlax's big nose, waiting for him to open his eyes, but Snorlax only let out a sudden, booming sneeze that sent poor little Eevee tumbling backward into a soft pile of leaves. As Eevee shook the dry leaves out of her fur with a wholesome, clumsy shake, the mystery only grew deeper. Even after a splash of water and a giant sneeze, Snorlax remained tightly curled up, refusing to move his massive arms from his stomach. Pikachu noticed a faint, warm glow peeking out from underneath Snorlax's heavy paws, accompanied by the distinct, delicious aroma of warm berries. The little electric Pokémon realized that waking Snorlax up normally wasn't going to work, and if they wanted to find out what was really happening to their dinner, they were going to have to try something much bigger and cleverer. Pikachu stepped forward, his little tail twitching with excitement as he realized they needed a clever trick to shift the heavy giant. With a bright smile, Pikachu hopped onto a nearby wooden log and let out a tiny, cheerful spark from his red cheeks. The gentle electric hum didn't hurt at all, but it created a soft, warm tickle right under Snorlax's big toes. Snorlax let out a deep, rumbling chuckle in his sleep and slowly rolled over to his side to escape the tickling sensation. As his massive arms finally shifted, the big secret was instantly revealed to the astonished friends. To everyone's surprise, the grand dinner wasn't inside Snorlax's tummy at all. It was perfectly safe, stacked neatly in a warm, cozy hollow right beneath his giant paws. Snorlax slowly blinked his big, sleepy eyes open, looking at his friends with a soft, apologetic smile. He let out a series of low, gentle rumbles, explaining that the freezing night winds had started to blow through the trees while the others were away. Snorlax knew the delicious honey bread and sweet berries would get icy cold and ruin the feast, so he had used his own warm, fluffy body as a giant, living blanket to keep their dinner perfectly toasted. Tears of happiness came to Squirtle's eyes, and Eevee happily jumped onto Snorlax's soft shoulder, realizing their big friend had actually saved the night. The friends happily gathered around the warm food, sharing the sweet berries and soft bread under the silvery light of the full moon. Now that everyone's tummies were full and happy, a deep, peaceful quiet settled over the Whispering Woods. The cool night air felt soothing, and the tiny yellow fireflies danced slowly in the dark, casting a gentle, rhythmic glow across the grass. Snorlax lay back down with a satisfied sigh, his giant tummy rising and falling with slow, heavy breaths. One by one, Pikachu, Eevee, Charmander, and Squirtle climbed up onto Snorlax's soft, warm fur, snuggling close together like a big family. The heavy blankets of night covered the forest as the stars blinked softly, whispering that it was time to dream. Pikachu closed his eyes, his little ears dropping lazily as he drifted away into a warm world of sleep. Eevee let out one last, tiny yawn and curled into a fluffy ball, listening to the comforting, steady heartbeat of their big protector. The entire world seemed to slow down, rocking the tired Pokémons into a deep, restful slumber. If you loved drifting off to sleep with Pikachu and his friends tonight, please click that like button and subscribe for many more cozy bedtime adventures. Good night, little trainers, and sweet dreams.